Hi dear friends, you are watching video from Impact the Spoken English Club. Our today's topic is clause. We know it very well. Clause is one of the most important topics in English grammar. But I can assure you, dear friends, no longer it will remain a difficult one if you watch this complete video. Do you think it is a tough topic? It is a difficult topic? Do you think clause is very difficult to learn? No, dear friends, please watch this complete video. I think it will be clear, it will be as clear as water, as transparent as water. Okay, so I am starting today our topic clause. At first we need to know what clause is. Dear friends, I am telling you, actually there is no difference between a clause and a sentence. So you may ask me, why is there different term? If clause and sentence have no difference, why is there a different term, clause? Dear friends, we can use this term clause in place of sentence if the clause is a main clause. So we need to know the classification of clause. Okay, I am going to tell you it later. At first I am telling you the definition of clause. Actually there is no difference. Why am I telling you this? Listen to it clearly. Actually, in a clause we find these four features. Look at the features 1, 2, 3, 4. And these same four features are also found in a sentence. Please listen carefully. What is a sentence? We know it very well. A sentence is a group of words with a finite verb. No sentence can be framed without a finite verb. And in a sentence we find subject and predicate, except imperative sentence. Okay, and also a sentence must be complete in meaning, and these same four features are found in a clause. The first feature is group of words. So a clause is a group of words, and the second one is subject and predicate. I mean to say, it has a clause has subject and a predicate. Number 3, finite verb. So in a sentence, finite verb is must. Likewise, in a clause, finite verb is must. Okay, and number 4, complete in meaning. A clause is complete in meaning, like a sentence. So there is no difference between a sentence and a clause. If the clause is a main clause, or in modern grammar the term is used matrix clause or main clause. Okay, I am giving you examples. She plays the piano. Okay, I play cricket every day. What will you say this? Of course, they are sentences. Number 1, she plays the piano. It is a complete sentence. Number 2, I play cricket every day. It is also a complete sentence. Can we call it clause? Yes. Of course, we can call them clause. She plays the piano. It is also an example of main clause. And I play cricket every day. It is also another example of main clause. So dear friends, I think it is clear to you there is no difference between a main clause and a sentence. But the question may be asked here, why is there different term? There is different term because there is also another clause, which is dependent clause or subordinate clause. Okay, I am giving you examples. At first, I am telling you the classification of clause. First of all, we can divide clause into two. Main clause and number 2, dependent clause. Dependent clause. Main clause and dependent clause. Just I have told you there is no difference between a sentence and a main clause. But a dependent clause is not a sentence. That's why the term clause is there. Okay, so please try to remember it. A dependent clause is not a sentence. So, what is a dependent clause? A dependent clause can never be used separately. Okay, a dependent clause is always used with a main clause. Without main clause, we can't use dependent clause. Okay, so what is dependent clause? I am giving you examples. Look at the example. Number 1, she gave me a pen which is costly. Okay, so she gave me a pen which is costly. Next, I know the man who came here yesterday. Okay, so look at the examples very carefully. Here in these two sentences we have main clause and also dependent clause. She gave me a pen. If we try to distinguish, if we try to separate a dependent clause from the main clause, it can easily be done. Okay, how can you do this? You can easily do this. Dependent clause, I have just told you, can never be used separately as a sentence. But a main clause can always be used as sentence. She gave me a pen. We can use it separately as it is complete in meaning. It has subject, it has predicate, it has finite verb, gave, and it is also complete in meaning. But look at the dependent clause. Which is costly? This is dependent clause. Here we have subject. Which is subject here, relative pronoun. Okay, next, this is predicate. We have finite verb is. So the same way, The features that we have found in the main clause, we have also these features in dependent clause. Here is also subject, predicate, finite verb. But the feature that we have found in main clause, I mean to say number 4, a clause is complete in meaning, but it is not complete in meaning. Without this part, without the main clause, we can't use it as a sentence which is costly. We can't use it separately as a sentence. So it has subject, it has predicate, and also it has finite verb, yet it is not complete in meaning. So this is dependent clause. If we don't use this clause without the main clause, it has no meaning. But when we use both in the same sentence, it has meaning. Okay? She gave me a pen which is costly, which indicates here pen. Okay? Next, I know the man who came here yesterday. I know the man. This is complete in meaning. So this is an example of main clause. I, subject, and this is the verb part, I mean to say predicate, and it has finite verb know. The same way, here is subject who, this is also relative pronoun, and this is verb part or predicate came here yesterday, and it has also finite verb came in simple present tense, in simple past tense, came. Okay, this is came, simple past tense, who came here yesterday. But without this part, it can never be used separately, who came here yesterday. Look at the distinction between a question and this form. This is not a question. Here is no inversion. Okay, who came here yesterday, that's why it cannot be used separately. Okay, so its meaning depends on this part, depends on the main clause. That's why we call this part dependent clause. This is dependent clause. Dependent clause. Okay, so dear friends, I think this is clear to you. Main clause and dependent clause, these two clauses need to be understood at first. If you understand these two clauses clearly, then I will discuss further, I mean to say the distinction actually division of dependent clause. We can divide dependent clause into another 3 clauses, which are adjective clause or relative clause, noun clause, and adverbial clause. Okay, I will upload this video next week, and I think it will be helpful for you. Okay, so dear friends, today up to this. Thank you.